Movies and Martinis celebrates women and diversity in the entertainment world
by ranking trending movies, shows, and books.
With two completely different perspectives and ranked by delicious martinis.
Listen to find out how many martinis we felt it was worth.
And learn about the women who have written, performed, and/or directed in everything we have rated.
A new episode is available every Thursday on your favorite podcast platform and YouTube. We gonna do this.
Let's do this.
Hey guys, welcome to our podcast. This is Priya.
And this is Mercy. Hey Priya, how you doing?
Good. Happy October.
I know.
It's
what the heckers? Well, we're dressed in the right colors.
Spooky black.
Yes.
So today is open bar.
Top shelf only. We only like the good stuff. So we summarize the entire month and what's coming into just a little bit, just the good stuff. So they say good things come in small packages.
Yeah. So why don't you kick it off with what you've been watching?
Oh my gosh, for sure. Okay. So I've had a super crazy September. So let me tell you, two shows I've really watched are Suits, completely rewatching the show. Have you heard of Suits?
I've heard of it, but I don't really know what's it about.
Okay, I love it. Great show. The show aired back in 2011.
Oh,
and now, and I watched it when it came out. It was on USA, and I watched it back then, like every week. It was excellent. And now Billy and I are rewatching it on Netflix, which is amazing because zero commercials, and the shows are back to back. So the storyline kind of flows as opposed to every week, which is not the same. So anyway, the show had, I want to say, 9 seasons. Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah, it was a great show. The cast is so diverse and the characters are so rich in personality and all these different things. It's just a great show. And it's kind of like a law firm. It's in a law firm. The whole thing happens in a law firm in New York City.
It's a comedy, right?
No, it's not a comedy. It's a drama.
Oh.
It's a drama, and it's supposed to be New York City, and you see them in all the scenery and all the pictures that they show during the show are absolutely gorgeous. Like you just want to be in New York every second. But it's really filmed in Canada.
Oh,
yeah, kind of weird. Yeah, but so the show is great. It's mainly centered on this specific character, which is Harvey Specter. He's an attorney.
Yeah.
And his sidekick is this kid that's a genius. And he's full of personality. He's funky and he's quick and he's savvy and he's the show, the kid, the sidekick. And so he has a diploma that says he graduated from Harvard, but he really didn't. So they have him in this law firm, which is one of the top New York law firms. And he's not even a real attorney.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
Exactly. But he wins cases left and right because the kid is brilliant. Yeah. So he has everything memorized. He has a photographic memory. And in the show, during those 9 years, he falls in love with Rachel. And Rachel is actually Megan, the Duchess now.
Yeah. Oh.
That was her big show that she had. Yeah. So she's just Megan, Duchess of Sussex. Sussex.
Yeah.
So the show is excellent. I mean, I recommend at least watch one episode, and you can see like the energy with all these characters. It's fantastic.
Don't you love like rediscovering shows? Like Wade and I do that all the time. Like we'll pull up old stuff and then we'll binge it.
Yeah, that's exactly what Billy and I are doing right now because we find there's more quality in this that we're watching now than in half of the shows that are out there.
Unfortunately.
And so, unfortunately. But the show is excellent. I mean, I highly, highly recommend it. This is our second time watching it. So that Suits.
How many martinis? How many martinis?
5 all the way around. Every single one. 5 for absolutely every reason. 5. So the other thing I watched to keep this quick and to the point,
yeah,
was a show called Live to 100.
Oh.
The Secrets of the Blue Zones.
Oh, that's
so
what
that
you texted
show,
me about. You texted me about that one.
Okay. Yeah. So that show is on Netflix, and it was a mini series. They don't call it that anymore. It's a limited series now. And so that was excellent. I want to tell you.
Is that a documentary or it's like fiction?
It's a documentary. I believe it was 20 or 30 years in the making that this guy travels around the whole world. His name is Dan Butner. Oh, yeah. And he discovers 5 different countries around the world where people live extraordinarily long and vibrant lives. And they're all centurions.
And none of it's the United States, of course.
No, the closest to us was actually, so it's really interesting, Priya, because the closest to us was in Costa Rica, which is not that far. And he began a blue, they call it blue zones, right? So he developed a blue zone in California.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's fantastic. So it is in Loma Linda, California. So it's 7 shows. I believe there were 7 shows to it. I'm going to give it to you in a nutshell, so you don't have to watch the whole documentary. Although it is a five martini documentary. It's engaging, it's entertaining, it's insightful. It gives you so much knowledge of how these people, and it's all true stories, and they interview the actual people. They're 106, 110, and they're here doing yoga and moving and doing all these things. So these are the core things that helped all of these. These are the core things that they had in common. All of these people from different parts of the world. So all of them were very strong with their faith. Not a specific religion, but they all had faith as part of their being. They all believed in something.
Yeah.
They were all very strong with community. So every single one of them was surrounded by community. Some of them were ladies, and they fed off of each other. All these women would gather, and they'd have wine, and they'd laugh, and they took care of each other, and they had like young women and older women, and the grandmother was an integral part of the granddaughter's life, and it was really beautiful. And the community, like in cafes, or they went to the local bar, or they had a bridge, they played bridge, or they played whatever, but they had community. That was a core part of longevity, which is interesting. And it even mentions that people that are loners, people that are alone all the time, actually cut something like 3 to 5 years of their lives, because community is so necessary. So it kind of encourages you to go out there and be part of having friends and meeting up with friends, and those one-to-one moments where you laugh and do all that great stuff that you
all that's important
to do. Yeah. Movement was a core one. Every single one that was over 100 was active in one way or another. A lot of them, because they live in older areas in remote parts of the world, had to walk like 3 miles to go get bread, or they walked every morning 2 miles to go to church, or they walked cattle, or they walked their whatever. All of them were continuously moving. So that was a huge part of it. And then the big part of it that comes in is their diet. So diet was huge. So it was all diet, faith, movement, and community. And there was one specific gentleman from Greece that moved to the United States as a young man with his family, looking for a better future. And in his 60s, he was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer.
Boy.
So he chose to go back home to Greece to live his last years in his hometown. He was being interviewed, and he was 106. He lived an additional 35 years. And they asked him, how did you do that? And he goes, I forgot to die. When I got here, I was enjoying my life and completely forgot to die. So it says something about how your happiness, and when you're happy, life it's just good.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting. It was really interesting. So going into the diet a little bit, just to tell you all the things that they had in common. So everybody had their own thing that they ate. The one thing that they all had in common was they all ate a lot of eggs, nuts, sourdough bread, honey. Everything was honey. They had no sugar. It was all honey. They all had red wine, was a big one in all of those countries.
All those red wine articles out there saying if you have 2 glasses of wine a day, you're gonna live forever.
They all had wine. They all had coffee, like just like an espresso, like clean coffee. All the food was clean. There was no commercial food anywhere. Everything is cooked at home. They all had like gardens, fruits and vegetables and all that great stuff. Olive oil was a huge component of the food. And so were yogurts. So all that clean stuff. So basically it was a Mediterranean diet per se, but it was throughout the whole world. And so they found this so fascinating in this 20-year journey of interviewing all these centurions that they have an area in Loma Linda, California, which is based from the church Seventh-day Adventist.
Oh, that's interesting.
That correctly. So it just happened to be that specific religion wanted to try clean living, longer, healthier living. So they have gardens and they have community and they have all these exercises. They incorporated everything that they learned in that 20-year research and they based it into that town. And so that's been going very successful. And unfortunately, in many of the countries where they've lost, where all those centurions lived, they're being commercialized because the areas are so beautiful and they're finding out that these people are living for so long. The corporations are coming in. So they're bringing like a donut shop, and they're bringing McDonald's, and they're bringing all these things. And the quality of life is completely changing. So that was one of the biggest complaints. They were asking like parents, hey, your great grandmother is 106. Isn't this great that, you guys have that? And she goes, no, because look, my child would prefer having a bag of Cheetos from the local store down the street than the vegetables that we would have had as a child here. So anyway, it was really interesting. The whole documentary was 5 martinis, but you don't have to watch the whole thing because I just told you what it was all about. Wanted to share that with you. Those are the things I watched. You're welcome. What did you watch?
My list is a little bit longer, but I'll be quick, guys. I'll be quick. I promise. To save you some years, you can live longer to 106. Okay. So my list has a lot of horror, sci-fi.
Oh Lord.
Yep. And a little bit of drama in there. So the first one that I just finished is called The Changeling. It's a series. The first season came out. It's available on Apple. And if you guys have seen Get Out, it's one of the dudes from Get Out is the main actor. And Adina Porter, who is an older actress, she's been in American Horror Story. She's freaking amazing. She's also in the show. And basically it follows this guy and this woman who are, they end up meeting up because they both love books. And they meet in a bookstore and the guy pursues her and they fall in love and all these things happen. But in the meantime, somewhere down the line, the woman goes to Brazil and she's in the middle of the forest and she meets a witch. And the witch makes her make 3 wishes. But she puts a little band around her wrist and says, if you cut this, the 3 wishes will come true. So the girl, I don't know what came over her to agree to something with a witch in the middle of the forest. But she did it. She made the 3 wishes. Anyway, her man cuts the thing on her wrist and the 3 wishes come through. And the 3 wishes were, spoiler alert, that she meets an amazing man, which is him. She has a healthy child, which she did. And the third one is that she becomes a witch. So you can imagine how the story unfolds, but it was really good. I would definitely give it 4 stars. Check it out. Again, it's on Apple. The next one that I saw is called Simulant. And it's Simu Liu, who's part of the Marvel universe. He was in it. It was just so good. It's all about AI, guys. So there's been all these AI shows out. I feel like it's in my face. I see Google giving me the prompts all the time. Choose the AI search. And I'm like, nope. Because in my mind, I'm like, I'm not ready for this. It's just insane.
Yeah, no.
But it's about androids and artificial intelligence. Definitely must watch. It's streaming. You can catch it on multiple platforms. And you're just gonna love it. It's really good. I would give it like 4 stars. The next one is The Boogeyman. It's a horror movie.
Martinis, not stars, but go on.
Oh, Martinis. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Okay.
The next movie is The Boogeyman. It's a Stephen King. It's based on a Stephen King novel. It's hella scary. Definitely at 4.5. Mercy, you probably won't be able to watch it. It's a lot of dark
but
stuff.
I have heard of the book.
Yeah. The book, The Boogeyman. You might be able to read the book. You might get scared, actually. Never mind. But it's really good, guys. Check it out. The next one is The Nun 2. It's part of the Conjuring universe. I could tell you, like, out of all the recent movies in the last like 10 years, The Nun, the first one, scared me. And I really don't get scared. I look away, but I don't get scared that much because we watch a lot of horror movies. But The Nun 2 just came out. It's a prequel. No, it's not a prequel. It's a sequel to The Nun, and it's playing in the movie theaters. I would give it like a 3.5. The first Nun was better than the second one, but still just as scary.
Okay.
The next one that's streaming on Apple and Prime is Robots, and also an AI joint. Again, I'm in this AI zone watching these types of movies and shows. But it's starring Shailene Woodley, who was in the Divergent series, and it's like a comedy, sci-fi. And it's a fun watch. I would give it like a 3.5 though, but definitely if you're looking for something in the afternoon on a Saturday, Sunday, whatever, you just want something to look at. Robots is fun. Check it out. Okay, let's talk about what's coming out.
Awesome. Okay. So talking about what's coming out, I think a lot is coming out obviously in October. Yes. but because this October we get Friday the 13th, we have a lot of things coming out on Friday the 13th. So the scariest one, or the best one, I should say, I think is coming out. Again, not my cup of tea, but clearly a big deal, is The Exorcist, which, that's going to be crazy. So it's The Exorcist Believer. And it is a continuation of the original Exorcist. I found that out, and I found that out for you because I don't watch those movies, but I did watch the first one.
Okay, you did. Yes, like eons ago.
Like, about 150 years ago, I watched it. And now the second one is coming out. It looks hella scary, super gory. And Ellen Bernstein, I think is how you pronounce her last name. I love her, but I can never pronounce her last name. Her first name is in the cast. The cast looks really good. And this one is not just one little girl. Like the first one, there's 2 little girls, 2 friends. And so it looks really, really good.
Are they turning green? Their head spinning? Have you seen the trailer?
It's disgusting. Yeah. I don't know. It's not even green. It's like gray, gory, whatever. So that's coming out Friday the 13th. And opposite of that, if you love Taylor Swift as much as we love Taylor Swift, she has her huge Eras Tour movie.
Oh.
So that's coming out on Friday the 13th. It's going to be huge. And getting tickets to watch that movie was as insane as it was. Well, not as insane, but kind of crazy insane, considering it was a movie. So it was $30 per ticket. No, I never got the tickets because I'm going to be traveling.
Did Sam get them? Did Sam get the tickets?
Absolutely. She's one of the
Sam is a Swiftie.
She's a Swiftie. So she got her tickets. I believe they're going for approximately $30. And everybody's going in full costume in whichever era it was that you loved the most. You go dress. And it's only being showed at AMC's, Regals, and Cinemarks at their IMAX theaters.
Of course, yeah.
So it's not just a movie, it is actually a concert, and it's an experience. So you have full surround sound, live, like huge Taylor Swift in your face, and you'll see every drop of sweat on her, and hey, the girl's a genius. She's
She
just
is
made close to $1
smart.
billion just on this, which sold out instantly.
Mhm.
And it's not a one day. I would like you to know it is from October 13th through November 5th, and
Oh,
it's sold out. And
what?
it's sold out instantly. Yes.
Oh,
Think about that. Think about that. Nationwide
all
at
the money. Oh my God.
every single AMC, every single Regal and Cinemark.
They're gonna be making bank.
So, yeah.
I could tell you,
mean,
Taylor is good business because, you know, y'all, if you
that's
don't,
an understatement.
if you're just first time listening to us or whatever, you know, Mercy and I are also entrepreneurs. So I have a company called Moms Pump Here that helps women find places to breastfeed and breast pump. Every single location Taylor performed at this past summer, we got so much traffic on the website for moms looking for places to pump at the stadiums that she was performing at. So much traffic.
That's awesome.
So she has good money, telling you.
Yeah.
Good marketing, good money.
So those are my two favorite things that are coming out. There's other, other great movies coming out and shows coming out. Tons of stuff coming out in October. So everybody has to be on the lookout. Was there something specific you were looking forward to?
Oh, I have a whole list, but I also have some tidbits that I was excited about coming out in November and December. So, okay, I'll start with the October movies. So, on October 6th is Kraven the Hunter, and I've talked about this one before because the guy is freaking hot. And I believe it's one of those Marvel DC movies. It is. It's coming out October 6th, guys, in the movie theaters. Definitely check it out. Sci-fi all the way. Turns into a beast, but he's hot. That's why you should watch it. The next one is Loki season 2. So Loki's part of Marvel. He's Chris Hemsworth's character, which is Thor's brother. But Loki has a spin-off show. So this is season 2 of a spin-off show. Season 1 was just so freaking good. Definitely a 5-star, 5 martini show. But the season 2 comes out October 6th on Disney Plus. The next one that is coming out is Five Nights of Freddy's. So our millennials and our Gen Zers listening and watching I can't say it. Five Nights of Freddy's is based off of a video game. It's hella scary. I remember when my kids started playing it years ago. I'm like, what is this? It's crazy. Stop doing it.
Wow.
But it is iconic in their generation and definitely a cultural experience for them. So I'm sure this movie is going to make bank. It's coming out in movie theaters October 27th. Okay, so the movies that are outside of October. In November, so I have to put this in there because I love Awkwafina. There's a comedy coming out that she's starring in called Quiz Lady. It looks hella fun. Sandra Oh is in it. And Sandra, you got to watch the trailer, Mercy. This is something you love. They're playing sisters, their mom dies, and they have to pay for something. So Awkwafina goes onto a game show, and it's just hella funny, like all the stuff they have to go through. But that comes out November 3rd on Hulu. Again, it's a comedy, Awkwafina and Sandra Oh. Oh, and Will Ferrell's in it, by the way. He's the game show host.
Oh, funny. How perfect.
Okay. The next one is Monarch. Legacy of Monsters. This is the next installment of the Godzilla / King Kong. I don't know what to call it. Like
the whole franchise.
Franchise, yeah, there you go. Franchise. This is taking place in the underworld. So the last, you probably don't know what I'm talking about here, but the last movie with King Kong, he discovers that he's from this underworld place in the earth, and there are all these monsters that came from there, including Godzilla. And he begins to live there at the end of the last movie. So this movie takes place in that area, and they're fighting a new foe, which happens to be some crazy orangutan looking monster. And him and Godzilla are going to be teaming up again against it. So I'm hella excited about it. The girl from Stranger Things started it. 11. She was in it. Okay. No, she was in the previous King Kong. Godzilla.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. That's November 17th. On Apple. The next one is you guys, the Hunger Games prequel is coming out.
Really?
Yes, November 17th. and it's coming out. It's called The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And it looks so good from the posters. The guy from Game of Thrones is on there.
Is it coming out in movies or?
You know what? I didn't jot that down, but I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't. Like, why wouldn't they be making money off of that? Like, the posters look immaculate. So I'm excited about that. We love Hunger Games in my household. The next one that I'm stoked about is called Rebel Moon. Now, if you love Star Wars, Star Trek, those types of shows, this is right up your alley, because Zack Snyder produced and directed Rebel Moon, and this is his version of Star Wars, because he was supposed to create a Star Wars movie and he was booted. So he was like, okay, I'm gonna do it my way. So he created a whole new world called Rebel Moon. And you guys, if you haven't seen the trailer yet, oh my God, it's freaking immaculate. And I'm so excited to see it. It's coming out on Netflix. So it's going to be so good.
Wow.
So
that's
those are my
good
picks.
Stuff.
Yeah, those are my picks coming out.
Good stuff.
A lot of good sci-fi, horror movies coming out. A lot of good stuff to catch up with. So make sure you check them out.
Yeah. Let's stay busy. I love it.
Stay busy.
So if we missed anything that was worth the conversation, share with us. Let us know. We'd love to hear what we missed.
Yes.
So just good stuff only. Top shelf over here.
Top shelf, baby.
Yeah. So cheers, Priya.
Cheers.
I want you to enjoy everything that November will bring. And watch as much as you can in October.
Make sure you like, share, follow, all that good stuff. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Absolutely.
Subscribe.
Yeah. All right, guys.
See you next week.
Have a great one. Bye.